Alright, now today we're exploring the key of D minor. That's your pentatonic on the 10th fret in the box position. I'm just going to play a few ideas over this backing track. This backing track is a recreation of the song Sloe Gin by Joe Bonamassa. It's just an instrumental though. But either way, we're in the key of D minor. I'm just going to play a few phrases that I like to specifically explore. And then we'll be able to discuss that from there. So check this out. This is D minor. So, that was Sloe Gin by Joe Bonamassa. Not really, that was actually a recreation track. My amp was kind of acting up, so I decided it was time to stop. By the way, in case you're wondering what kind of equipment I'm recording on today, this is a Paul Reed Smith custom shop 513 guitar. And on the floor, I'm running into a MXR Dynacomp of the year 1974. That was a good year, by the way. And I'm also using a Keeley modded tube screamer and a Keeley modded blues driver, and I'm also running into a Boss digital delay DD7, running into a 1966 Fender Super Reverb. That was also an excellent year, 66. So anyway, let's talk about this. We got a few phrases specifically that I was honing in on, okay, and one of them is kind of more of a Stevie Ray Vaughan. Just like that. You know, I'm using strings 1 and 3. This phrase is on the 10th fret, which is your root position in the key of D. So you got, and you can just take your first finger and make a bar on the 10th fret, and then play the strings 1 and 3 simultaneously. And let's actually take your ring finger and put it on the 12th fret and play it at the same time with the first string on the 10th fret. So it's going to be 2. It's really 2 different phrases. You're going to be, which is the 3rd string frets 10, 12, 13, 12, and 10. but you're gonna add that high D with everything together. If you can do that slowly and tastefully, it's a very mature phrase. It shows a lot of maturity. What I mean by maturity is that it's one of those phrases that when you play it, you sound like an old man, in a good way. In a good way, you sound kind of just chill. Okay. And here's another one that kind of goes in tandem with that. It's going to be. That's just a choke. That's just a choke on the 3rd string, 12th fret. Ending with that 1st string, 10th fret. And just take your time. Take your time. Make them want it. You know what I'm saying? They make them wonder where you're going to go with that. Okay. A lot of times I think like playing guitar is kind of like playing poker. And it's like you have these cards, just like a poker player has these cards, and he doesn't want to show his cards until the very last moment. Okay. It's a similar concept. If a good instrumentalist, a good guitar soloist will play his guitar in a way that he won't even reveal necessarily where he's about to go. And if you can start to think about those concepts, it's almost as if that next note is that hidden card. That when he throws that card down, the whole play makes sense, you know. But you got to make the audience want it. So that's why you don't want to give out the answer. You don't want to play your cards too soon. You really want to hold back and keep them guessing, you know. So basically, less is more. Okay, the less you can do on the guitar, the more people can focus in on what you're actually doing. Okay. Okay, so here's another phrase. That's a good one. Those first 2 phrases was Stevie Ray Vaughan, this one. And this one. That's like Stevie Ray Vaughan, kind of Texas flood era, okay? First album-ish. But this one is like Eric Clapton, like what he was like. That's that mid-90s Eric Clapton from the Unplugged. That's that vibe. So what that is I'm starting on the 10th fret with the 1st and 2nd string, actually with the 2nd and 1st string, so it's 2 and 1. That's 2, 1, and then the next note is also on the 1st string on the 12th fret. Then on the 13th fret, 12th fret, 10th fret. Then we'll slide to the 15th fret. Then the 13th fret. Back to the 15th fret. All at the end, all those notes are on the 1st string. So it's like. Okay, one more time. In case you're wondering what that was just now, that was a rake, okay? That thing is called a rake. It's kind of cool. It's like you do a rake. It's like you mute everything, but you only let out the last note. It adds oomph to what you're doing. Okay. Very David Gilmour-ish, that rake is. Okay, so what we have so far I've covered 3 phrases. Okay. And then you got this one. Remember to take your time on that one. You're just playing poker with that one. And then you can do something like. Okay. And I also threw in this for you. Here's like an octave. Okay. That's just, you're going to take your 1st and 3rd finger. And you can start it anywhere. Let's just, for the sake of simplicity, start it on the 5th fret, 5th string, which happens to be the root. And then you're going to also use the third finger on the 7th fret 3rd string, and that's another root. So you have 2 roots of D. These are of course octaves, right? Okay. So what you're going to do is play these 2. Or now you can take your pick and you can strum it if you mute everything else. Okay, so you can go. You just move this around. Okay, it looks kind of like this. Okay. If you're watching the video, I think I was using some of that. So you could maybe latch on to some of those concepts. Just kind of take your first finger and do what you want to do, like this. And then add everything to it, add an octave on the 3rd finger. Just go down 2 strings. I'm sorry, go down 1 string and over. Go down 2 strings and over 2 frets. There's always going to be your octave there. So it's. And that becomes. Okay. So that's some ideas for you. Finally, something really cool that I really want to share with you that I was doing just now was a palm muted 8th note groove, which is just playing randomly in the minor scale and just palm muting. Okay, the palm muting when you solo has an amazing effect. It's like hitting a pedal. It's like a whole new. It's like a whole new sound. It just shows a very tight, reserved kind of, very carefully placing your notes kind of sound. Okay, that's a very Nokie Edwards vibe. Remember Nokie Edwards from the 50s? He was in that group, The Ventures. I listened to all kind of stuff growing up. So anyway, today we're talking about, what are we talking? Nokie Edwards, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, and then little David Gilmour. So yeah, go ahead and listen. And if you're bored and you're hanging out at night and you're on the computer, just enter it into Google or YouTube. Check out some of these names of the people I'm mentioning, and you can start experiencing the way they play guitar and let that speak to you. You know, and like what I do, you just take from the people you admire. You know, and that eventually becomes comprised into what your style is. Okay, so you can do some of these notes. Just try anything with the palm mute. Okay, you're just gonna palm mute. Okay, you take the knife in your hand. You're gonna put it on the bridge. Okay, and okay. You don't have to do it up here. You could always do down here too. Okay. So with that all being said, let me just to close us out here. I'm going to play some of these phrases over the song again. So listen closely. I'm gonna be more just featuring the phrases than jamming. So this time it should be more helpful to you. Here we go. Sloe Gin, D minor. Watch this. almost kind of a New York vibe, you know, in terms of the way the piano interacts with the track. So anyway, yeah, just check that out. You know, go at it. Definitely check out this guitar player, Joe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa, that is. Just absolutely amazing. I saw him for the first time live at the Hard Rock. Absolutely killed it. I mean, he just blew my mind. And since I've seen him, he's grown in fame. He's been playing with B.B. King and Eric Clapton and just a whole bunch of celebrity superstars. Young guy, an amazing guitarist, on fire. So check him out, and I will see you at the next lesson. Thanks so much.